there. Apologies for, again, the semi-clumsiness, getting things ready to go. It is the early portion of Wednesday evening. If you are just joining us, again, we are just getting things going. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them into the chat function. We'd love to hear where you're coming in from and or any questions you have about the forecast. We would love to, again, know a little bit more about where anybody's coming in from. We can't do this without you, the viewers. So again, please drop a comment. If you'd like to take a look at anything specifically, we'll do our best to let you know a little bit more about that and what is going on. We're coming to you live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, southeastern United States. So again, good opportunity to keep an eye on what's going on with what's happening into and around the area for tonight. Let me just do a couple more last minute things here, and I should have gotten this taken care of earlier, but this is part and parcel of what goes on when you are producer, director, audio operator, camera operator, and again, many other hats to wear for tonight. So this should hopefully help to get things ready to go. Again, things are exceptionally quiet for right now, but we will be seeing, again, the potential for less in the way of anything involving any chance of major amounts of problems out there for tonight when it comes to anything involving huge amounts of rainfall or anything else at this time. Going to be seeing, again, the potential for more in the way of winds over the next couple of days. So, again, we have the potential for some more problems at this point, which could be a bit of a problem for outdoor activities for Valentine's Day. I know it sounds like I'm babbling, and I am, and I'm trying to get this to work properly because, unfortunately, sometimes this is a little bit difficult to get taken care of before we get things in motion. So for right now, let's hope that this is actually working in a minute. And again, my apologies for the fact that this appears to be less in the way of working well. Having all these issues, again, we would like to make certain that all this is working beforehand, and this is going to really cause problems with our recording system here. So let's make certain this is working. And one more time, give it a shot, which again, we may have to restart everything here to see if this is the case. So far, so good. I think we are working at this point, or at least I hope so anyway. A lot of stuff can go wrong and often does go wrong at this point, so this is where we kind of run into a lot of problems, unfortunately. So stick with me. We're almost there, I hope, and we should be going live here, excuse me, on Facebook in just a little bit. Okay, that should do it. So going live here in 3, 2, 1 for Facebook, and we will be off and running. So for right now, if you're just tuning in, this again is weather overtime for the early portion of Wednesday evening. We're coming up on 10 o'clock Eastern time. So if you have any questions about what's going on with the forecast, we'd love to know what you're seeing out there. This is, again, our live video weather blog, your opportunity to ask questions about what's going on with the forecast. Again, please give us a shout if you're in and around the area. Not much going on for tonight. Good news on that. So we don't have a lot happening yet, but in the next couple of days, we may be seeing the potential of some more rain. And as we've told you in the last couple of nights, excuse me, again, having some throat issues. Everybody here has had some form of sickness going on into the last couple of days. Coming up, we will talk more about severe weather safety. We will also talk a little bit more about, again, a couple of events going on that you can attend that you might find interesting when it comes to preparedness and community involvement. So we'll talk more about that in just a little while. Currently, again, we managed to pick up 0.6 of an inch of rain overnight. That did help our deficit out by just a little bit, not by much. But right now, we again have less of a deficit than we did this morning, close to 3 inches. And as of right now, things are looking much better for chances of rain into the weekend. Not a lot, but we could at least cut the deficit in half. So that may help to get things a little bit less problematic when it comes to things like wildfires and overall drought situation. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little while. If you are just joining us, again, this is Weather Overtime, live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you've got questions, let's see them. Drop them into the comment section. We are live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube for tonight. If you'd like to take a look at any of our other streams going on, they're exactly the same as this one. We're just trying to split it so we can send more of a signal out there for now. Downtown Chattanooga, lights looking back up Broad Street toward downtown from the News 12 studios. North and south towing camera, beautiful clear view for tonight. Again, little if anything going on in the way of major problems with visibility. Got a bit of a problem, looks like, well, okay, this more than likely is Highway Patrol or the police warning folks to hop over because, again, a lot of construction to the left-hand side of this picture as you head into around the area of I-24 and Moore Road. So that could be a bit of an issue out there. Downtown from the North Shore, looking at the Chattanooga Theater Center, the Tennessee River, pretty much like glass. There's not much in the way of any viewing problems tonight. Few folks out and about at Coolidge Park tonight on the North Shore. And looking back toward the aquarium and downtown and Riverside Drive, Speedy's Total Car Care camera showing again some quiet and dry conditions for now. Temperatures back in the mid-40s. We've got a pretty healthy northerly breeze, so we do have just a bit of a wind chill at this point, back to mid-40s. And we also have, again, winds out of the north at about 9 miles per hour. So we do have some chilly conditions out there, not looking, again, at a lot of big problems where it comes to anything in the way of huge amounts of wind. It is going to be breezy into tomorrow. So if you have any plans to get the kids to school, make sure everybody's bundled up. And it's possible that we may see some frost on the windshields in the morning. Remember, scrape the entire windshield clean, that whole periscope driving thing, just scraping a little bit of the windshield off and none of the side views is a very unsafe thing to do. So let's please make certain that we are all paying attention on there as to what's going on with our driving situation. Again, schools in the morning should not be too much of a problem, but it will be on the chilly side out there for tomorrow. What's going on with the forecast? Well, not a lot. Our last cold front is making its way down toward the Gulf Coast and around portions of the area into and around the eastern seaboard, making its way with a lot of dry air. Rain chances from South Carolina through southern Georgia, across the Panhandle, and into southern parts of Alabama. But beyond that, there is just really not that much happening for right now. High pressure from Hudson Bay pushing the really cold air over toward New England, and then high pressure here escorting in some very dry air off of portions of the Midwest and southern Canada. Next storm system is on its way. It's getting organized across the West Coast states, and it doesn't look like much for right now. But as this system deepens in the atmosphere, we're going to see a lot more in the way of a spin with this system, drawing in a lot more moisture from off the Gulf of Mexico. And again, crossing the Rockies, this system has to go up over the Rockies, down into the plain states. And when those systems get pushed upwards into the atmosphere, they get not much room to maneuver. They're kind of squeezed up there, so they're kind of compact, not much of anything to do in the way of spreading out to help things out there. Now, after this thing moves into the plain states, we start to see the better possibility, again, of more in the way of rain and the potential of some pretty good amounts of wind coming our direction. Now, for the next about, say, 24 hours, we should be on the dry side. It'll be chilly tomorrow morning, again, right above freezing for most of the area. Temperatures for Thursday afternoon, even cooler than today, but that will mark the bottom point of our cooling trend before we start a warming trend going up into the next several days. So again, a little cool for Thursday, but dry Dry and chilly, again, pretty frosty possible for Friday morning. And then Friday afternoon, maybe a few clouds, but high pressure dominates the eastern seaboard, and there's not much else out there. Saturday morning, not that much happening yet, but we do have that next system on the way through, and that, again, will be making its way closer to us. It looks like late Saturday into early on Sunday. Now, about sunset Sunday to about midnight, this system has slowed down considerably. So this means that this system may hold off on rain for around Valentine's Day in the evening, which means it hopefully won't be quite as soggy as what we saw on the forecast a couple of days ago. So that's good news. But that does mean that early Sunday morning, chilly, lots of rain, lots of wind possible here before this system kicks out to the east and drags in more dry air. Now, there are signs that another system is going to be diving in from, it looks like, around Canada. A new system that could make its way into the plain states developing here might give us the potential of some windy conditions as we go into around next week. Now, bear with me here. I had it, I know, just a little while ago. Here we go. Again, talking about the potential for wind gusts out there. That is not the right graphic. It looks like it, but it is not. Okay, what did I do with it? Okay, sorry about this. It's supposed to be looking at the, there we go. Sorry, got double graphics on here that shouldn't be here. All right, so chances of wind will really be increasing Sunday morning. Could be windy and rainy across portions of the area. Wind gusts could be, again, well over 40 miles per hour in parts of the southeast United States. That system passes on through, and by Sunday afternoon and evening should be diminishing. Maybe a little breezy on the back side of that system, but notice the upper left-hand corner of the screen as we go into Tuesday to Wednesday of next week. The maps, the models here are starting to show a very intense system developing. Now, most of the energy of this system looks like it is going to be going well back to our north, right up along the northern parts of the Mississippi River. So for right now, this doesn't look like it's going to have a direct impact on us here in the News 12 viewing area in the southeast United States, but it does look like it could be having a secondary effect on our weather. We could be looking at windy conditions into around Wednesday to Thursday. Again, that's next week, not Wednesday into Thursday tonight, but this does look pretty intense. Again, from this point into next week, that's a long way to go. So a lot can change in that time frame as we get into around the area of next week. Excuse me. That is where we may be looking at a repeat performance of another system. So could be some more choppy weather into portions of the area as we head into next week. So again, that is what we're going to be mainly looking for right now. All of that could change, and we will keep you advised on that as we go through the next few days. There's also the possibility, before I forget about it, of, again, the potential of some fairly heavy rainfall coming through. Now, notice, again, that most of the rain takes place back toward the Mid-South, back toward around Little Rock and around the Oklahoma area, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Springfield, Missouri, down toward Mena, DeQueen, into Pushmataha County of Oklahoma. Might be looking at the potential of some very heavy rain there. We could see some pretty decent rainfall here. Now, whether or not we're talking about flash flooding, that remains to be seen. But again, this is a pretty healthy dose of rain as we get into the next couple of days, especially toward the weekend itself. So keep it tuned to News 12, and we'll let you know more about that. For tonight, again, Lake Chickamauga, a little bit of a breeze, so you see a few ripples out there, but not seeing a lot of major amounts of cloud cover on the Island Cove Marina and Resort camera. Chances of rain are gone from the forecast for tonight. Everything is decently quiet. A few passing ducks out on the water, and let's hope that this can load up properly there. All right, so what we're looking for into around the area the next few days, it'll be cool tomorrow, just about normal for this time of the year, and then we go upwards on temperatures, and then the chances of rain Saturday night into around Sunday specifically. Friday looks dry, first half of Saturday looks dry, And then President's Day also looking on the dry side with plenty of sunshine out there. Now also the temperatures. Now again, this is a 7-day forecast, so this goes up till about a week or so from now. There are, computer models that are showing temperatures close to 80 degrees as we go toward the middle to end part of next week. It's possible. How likely that is, I would not carve that in stone just yet. I would keep a very close eye on that. Again, a lot can change in a week's time, so we'll be watching that with a lot of interest. So far, too warm for anything but rain, no winter weather expected, and then also not seeing any signs of severe weather anytime soon. So definitely some good news overall across much of the area. Winter weather, would be nice to take a break from what we have seen so far out there. But again, for the next few days, definitely want to again pay attention to the changes coming our way. Any severe weather chances, especially at this time of the year, we really need to be paying attention to that. Now, to that end, again, want to remind you about the potential for, again, severe weather and being ready for it. National Weather Service in Nashville offering online virtual Skywarn spotter training. If you have not had the chance to go to a meeting to get trained as a Skywarn spotter, I urge you to do so. This meeting, I've seen kids as young as 6 or 7 attend these meetings, and if you would like to be a Skywarn spotter, your kids would like to be a Skywarn spotter, your grandkids, etc., then this is the best place to go. If you want to be a storm chaser, this is where you start, knowing more about safety first and safety always in this. You learn what to look for during severe weather, how to protect yourself, and most importantly on this, what you can report back to the National Weather Service. That really matters. The amount of Skywarn spotters out there really help us out. Now, why is that? Because the more eyes we have on the ground watching what goes on is what can really help us. So again, taking a look at what we have, radar is of course blank for tonight, but taking a look again, let's say the storm is making its way from around northwest Georgia going toward Chattanooga and right through southern Hamilton County, moving at about 35 miles per hour. So the storm will be moving into and around this particular location. It's in a sort of a cone shape because the storm starts here and it could go anywhere in this area. This is what you see on here from the News 12 radar is, again, the neighborhoods, the different places that are points of interest to show you where, to give you an idea, so you can recognize where this may be affecting and if or not it is close to you. The important thing is that we have spotters around the entire area. If you're in this location, your data sent to the National Weather Service, called in by, again, calling your National Weather Service on the special toll-free number they give you, or anything else can help the National Weather Service say, okay, the tornado is here, it's moving this quickly, we have reports of this size hail, wind damage here, power outages here. That information going to law enforcement, going to the amateur radio community, going to meteorologists like myself here at News 12 and my colleagues. We can help everybody stay protected, and Skywarn spotters do a lot of that. So we depend on people to find out more about what is happening. That ground truth, that information that comes in can really, really help. So please, again, consider becoming a Skywarn spotter. That will really, really help everybody. Again, the more Skywarn spotters we have, the better off we will all be. Now, in-person meetings, you may not have had the chance to go. If you live around the Cleveland area, Bradley County, next Thursday, 6 p.m., Bradley Central High School in Cleveland, Tennessee. Again, these meetings in person last about an hour, hour and a half, somewhere in there, with a break in the middle, your chance to ask questions. Really great opportunity to be informed. And then coming up, let's see, what is this? 2 weeks from tomorrow at Hamilton County in Chattanooga for residents in and around. These are scheduled for, again, residents around these locations. So if you want to join in and you live in, say, Marion County, or down across into around Gilmer County in Georgia, you can attend, that's fine, but just please let the National Weather Service know you are coming by registering. The meetings are totally free, paid for by your tax dollars and my tax dollars, but please register so they know how much of a space to set up for, and if there's too many people, that they have to turn it away for fire marshal safety standards, then they can hold another meeting some other time. But if you can go to weather.gov/MRX and register for these meetings, that would really help out just to be on the safe side. I should mention, before I get too far ahead of myself, the meetings for Nashville. If you would like to attend these, go to their website. Again, that is at weather.gov/OHX, the three-letter code for the National Weather Service, Nashville/Skywarn. Next meeting comes up next Monday, February 16th. Reminder, that's at 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday. If you have the day off because of the holiday, great, and you can get trained on Skywarn. That would be a great opportunity for you to learn a lot more. Totally free, a great opportunity, again, to find out more details about what is coming your direction out there. So please consider that. Taking a look at our online poll, the question for today is coming from the information that we get from Yale University Department of Climate Change Communications, talking about Americans' attitudes and beliefs regarding climate change and global warming. There is such a thing as climate refugees. They are happening all over the world, and unfortunately it is going to get worse as we go forward in time if we don't act to do something about climate change that humans are causing. So, excuse me, the panel interviewed over 1,100 adult Americans, asked them several questions about what they think, how they feel about things. So our poll question tonight was, what percentage of Americans have considered moving to avoid the impacts of global warming? Again, it's a very important question, and the answer, 91% of you got this, to where the amount of Americans who have considered action, including moving to avoid global warming changes, climate changes out there, is only about 12%. Now, that doesn't sound like much. Again, rounding off, that's about 1 in 10. But here's the thing. That is a larger number than what we have seen in past polls asked over the last couple of decades or so. It's not a huge increase, but it is, more importantly, increasing. We're going to have more questions on this as we go forward. It is a fascinating study to take a look at, and if you have not done so, you may take a look at the study, very easy, at Yale Climate Change Communications Department. It's from fall of 2025. Took a long time to get everything organized on here, but it's called Climate Change in the American Mind, and if you would like to know more about this, sorry, that's not showing up on the YouTube page on theirs, but that's, again, you can see it. Let me switch over to that so you can take a look. There we go. Again, Climate Change in the American Mind, Beliefs and Attitudes from fall of 2025 from Yale University and George Mason University Center for Climate Change Communication. Very detailed study on here, interviewing 1,146 18 years old or older adults, average margin of error plus or minus 3%. Fascinating study on here, asking a lot of different questions about beliefs, responses to climate change and global warming. And again, we'll have more information on this coming up in the course of the next several days and weeks. So again, thanks to Yale University for putting that on, and thanks to everybody for, again, talking more about climate change, and we will continue to do that. This is the place where science rules, so keep it tuned to News 12 for more on that. Thanks a lot to News 12 viewer Bridget Ellis from Cleveland, Tennessee, for a gorgeous view of what I assume the nickname is of the mountain in the background, Big Frog, over the Parksville area from Lake Ocoee, Tennessee. Beautiful view, kind of reminds me what it looks like from the area around Ober-Gatlinburg to take a look at there. So great opportunity for a picture there. Beautiful snow-capped peaks. Thank you very much, Bridget Ellis, for sending that in. If you've got pictures, we'd love to see, again, what you're seeing, so please send them in to us, again, at pictures@WDEF.com. You can go to our social media pages, or, again, you can just go to our Weather Window headquarters at WDEF.com/photos, and yours could be the next HEP Heating Weather Window picture of the day. One more event I want to talk about real quick on here that is coming up within the course of the next several weeks. A lot of folks I run into when I tell them that I am an amateur radio operator, they say, well, that's a dying hobby. It most certainly is not. It's still, again, a lot of opportunities for learning about communications, safety, the law, all sorts of neat and interesting things. If you'd like to know more about this, the website is located here. Thanks to the Dalton Amateur Radio Club of Dalton, Georgia, just southeast of Chattanooga, for the first and best what is called a Ham Fest, amateur radio, also known as Ham Radio. So the Ham Fest or Ham Radio Fest 2026 in Dalton will be coming up last day of the month at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. North Georgia Fairgrounds, 500 Legion Drive in Dalton. If you'd like to know more information, great opportunity to learn more. There will be testing available if you would like to be able to get your license. It would be a great opportunity to do so on there. I believe it's $15 for the license from the FCC. May cost a little bit again for the testing, and more information on this. We're going to put this on social media over the next few days. This is a great opportunity to learn more about what amateur radio is all about and how cool of a hobby it actually is. If you've not had the chance to explore, there's a lot that goes on and a lot of great opportunities to learn a little bit more about what it's all about. The older, more experienced members of any ham radio community are nicknamed as Elmers. So your opportunity to, again, look around, ask questions, and find out more from the Elmers that will attend this place. You don't have to have a license to attend this. It does cost a couple of bucks to get in for parking, but it is well worth it to take a look. It's a big swap meet. It's a great opportunity for the community to come together and talk more about emergency communications and planning. I highly recommend it. Yes, I'm an amateur radio operator. I have been one now for the better part of a quarter century, and the only regret I have in getting my license was that I waited until I was as old as I was before I got my license. I thoroughly enjoy being an amateur radio operator, and now I'm passing this chance on to you. So your opportunity, again, to learn a lot more as to what is going on with the amateur radio community, and again, how you can get involved out there. So just something to think about. That should do it for tonight. Again, the best opportunity for right now, looking for less in the way of problems immediately, but there will be more potential for, again, some problems this weekend. Maybe a rumble of thunder, mainly just rainfall across the area, and some very windy conditions from Saturday into Sunday. That's the worst of it. Anything else out there is still a little bit too far away to accurately take a look at for at least the time being. A lot of changes taking place, and now at this time of the year, January through roughly about April, it's still winter, but it is severe weather season. So we do, again, need to be weather aware and paying attention to everything that goes on across the area. So please keep it tuned to News 12. We'll keep you advised on that. Chip Chapin will have your forecast bright and early coming up tomorrow. That's Thursday, downward slide to the weekend. So stay tuned for more on that with Chip Chapin on the morning show that comes up at 5 a.m. Eastern. So stay tuned there. And, of course, if you have questions, email me at my email address, aonek@wdef.com. And our website, always available again at wdef.com/weather. That should do it for tonight. I'll be on with more with News 12 at 11, so stay tuned for more there. Live and direct on Peak of the Week Wednesday, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining us for our on-air video and online video weather blog, Weather Overtime, and stay tuned for more with News 12, and we'll keep you advised.